Thank you. Okay. I welcome all of you to the brand new year, 2023, and to our town council work session with all of our new people, and our old people are here too. And at this time, instead of hitting him over the head with it, I'm going to present the gavel to our new mayor, Bill Goldsmith, and wish you the best of luck, and remember, it's not my problem.
Don't go anywhere. And I guess it's now my turn to welcome you all. We're looking forward to a productive year. And to start things off, I would like to pass out some awards. So Barbara's going to be up here. Steve, if you could step forward. Bill Smith. And everybody should know that these three people actually are the epitome of service to this town. They have given, in the case of Barbara and Steve, over a decade, right, for you, and a decade for you, at
12
least.
years,
12 years. And as many thanks as they've gotten, I'm sure, over the years. It probably doesn't cover, yeah, one a year, from a relative, probably.
Who was lying?
But, you know, they've gone over and above what other people in town have done. This town runs on volunteerism, and like I said, they epitomize that whole process. Bill Smith dug into water like nobody I've ever seen in terms of taking on a project, and he's going to be sorely missed, although since he's still attending meetings and still giving me advice, I don't know that he's really going away. But they have medicine for that. But anyhow, I would like to present each of them with an award for their service. It says 21-22, but the truth is that, like I said, this goes back 5 years in the case of Bill Smith and 12 years in the case of Steve and Barbara, and we can't thank them enough for their service. So this one is for Barbara, and for Steve, and Bill.
Thank you.
Now, yes, or you done? Can you step over a little bit? I can if Barbara will move. All right.
No, I see.
That was
Looks like we're holding
good. That
hands.
was
It's
good.
okay, Steve. We'll talk about this later.
Yeah.
Okay. My eyes were closed. I blinked.
Do it again, Tom.
Good? No, good.
Oh, dang. I have to put my glasses on to see that. Okay, can you Photoshop several pounds off of you?
This filters.
Give her blonde beach hair.
Yeah. Okay, we're done, right? Thank you.
I think we're
you.
done.
Are you crying?
No.
Oh,
Yeah, tears
say
of
good
joy.
gosh.
Those are lovely.
All right. So, with no further ado, let's do the roll call. Marjorie Austin,
Here.
Beth Justice,
Here.
Larry Tuning,
Here.
Alana Courtney,
Here.
Mary Hanson,
Here.
Sandy Sturgill,
Here.
and the mayor's here. All right, let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, there was going to be some modification of the agenda, but it should be as it stands. Do I have a motion to accept the agenda as presented?
I make a motion to approve.
A second?
Second.
Alana Courtney seconds it.
I have to say it loud.
And-
Second.
All right. Marjorie?
Yes.
Beth?
Yes.
Mr. Tuning?
Yes.
Alana?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Sandy?
Yes.
Mary votes yes. All right. Next on our agenda, public comment. Are there anything for public comment? Jim Hayes.
Is the red light on, Jim?
The red light is on. Mayor, new and old members of, I didn't mean old members of city council.
Okay.
My name is Jim Hayes. I live at 280 Colorado Avenue, and we missed the last meeting concerning the pool. No, not adversarial against the pool, anything like that, but just a couple of comments that maybe that they could take consideration. My wife and I both were looking at the plans that they've come up with, and the one thing that we were looking at was as you go down Rappahannock, you're looking back and you're not seeing a $1.1 million pool. You're seeing the back of the bathhouses and the concession area. I'm just wondering if there's any possibility of possibly moving them to the side where that when you go down Rappahannock, the nice wide street and the grassy area that you're looking through and seeing the pool, and I know the pavilion may be moved or whatever, and then your pickleball courts and whatever, but we just thought that the idea of going down there and looking at that, you go up and look at the pool at the campgrounds. You can see the beautiful fountain they've got coming out of the pool as you drive by. So nothing other than just some information that maybe that you can take into consideration on.
And actually, the final renderings, that view from Rappahannock is taken into consideration. So the snack bar entries and those sort of things are on the pool deck. So sort of it's a what would you call it? A more architecturally complete facade facing Rappahannock, and the business end with the guard stand and the concession stand is going to be on the pool side. So that's taken into consideration.
Okay, just kind of wanted to throw that at you. Thank you.
Anyone else?
I feel the exact same way.
Yeah, and that is with the final renderings, and they're not available yet. I think everybody will see that the presentation from the Rappahannock side is going to be acceptable to everybody.
Yep.
That's the response. Anybody else have anything to say on that? All right. Matters of council, the pool update. You want me to do that, or you want to go with that? All right. Then let me do that.
I'll jump in.
Okay.
if we need to.
We're into to speak to Jim's concern, we're into the final renderings for that. The architect is polishing it up. We've had discussions with the UBI so that we're sharing information in terms of what the things look like, the Bristow Pavilion and its location, and trying to make it so that the two buildings mirror one another so that the thing looks uniform from the Rappahannock side. And even from the Bonner Street side, it should be dressed up enough so if you're going down Bonner Street, it makes sense, and if you're on Rappahannock, it makes sense, and that's all being taken into consideration. We had a meeting with the Heislers at the site on Wednesday, and they walked through it to see what the location was and what things they needed to do, and they're putting together a final package so that we have a bid that we can then present not only to council, but to the town, and that we'll use as a kickoff for fundraising. Anything else that we're missing there? I think that.
That pretty much covers it, but I mean, just to address your comments, we actually looked at, this has been a long, drawn-out process, and we looked at the placement of the structure, and this was a decision made by, not only the architect, but by, Bay Design as well, and they're looking at things like the park setting, the overall park setting, and the rise of the buildings, and have it look like a park instead of having all the buildings jumbled up. So, we looked at putting it at the opposite end, putting it over on the the inn over towards the Oyster Festival, and this just ended up what everybody recommended. And I think it's really gonna, when you, the building and is gonna match the pavilion, and it's gonna look nice.
Right.
No.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
I think the way it's planned now, and our UBI members, I think, will agree that the park is gonna make sense, and not like, people just independently put things in there at a whim.
Can I just add that I think when you look at the architectural renderings, at least the preliminary ones that we saw, that facade that faces Rappahannock is not just a cinder block wall. It has architectural detail and merit, and it looks attractive.
Right.
Right.
Moving on. Boundary line adjustment update?
We are, if you, council members, if you will look at your package, you will, see, the latest, plat design. And several months ago, we went before the Board of Supervisors and, made a pitch for bringing in the highlighted areas in that plat, into town, but it also included two lots up on the Red Hill side that belong to, Thurston Properties. And the Board of Supervisors were opposed to that. And so we, met again and came back. We removed those two plots, and now, again, it's the highlighted areas. We have letters on file from Craig Hall and his family. They've got 10 acres on Waverly Road that they have requested to be brought into the town. The fire department has agreed to bring their field into the town, which is currently in the county. And of course, Thurston Properties has requested that this site here, come into the town. And then, of course, we've got several parcels of property up at the water tower
Right.
that we are requesting to be brought into the town limits. And so, Andrea and I have been working with the county attorney, Heather Thomas.
Lewis.
Heather Lewis. I don't know why I always want to call her Thomas, but Heather Lewis and Matt Walker, the county administrator. So we're planning to take this forward, at their Board of Supervisors meeting in February. And you also have a, copy in your packet of the meets and bounds descriptions for the town, which lays out, what all is entailed and what's, gonna be the town limits and what we're requesting to come into the town. The only feedback that we have gotten so far, and I've contacted all of the Board of Supervisors members, and is that they were questioning a plot of land that we have and a parcel of land up on the hill at the water tower, as to why we needed that to come in. And the answer to that is, and I explained to them that the parcel of property that belongs to us, we have to put a well on there in 8 years.
Right.
That's mandated.
Right.
And in order to accomplish that task, we've got to have the property that belongs to Thurston Properties, we've got an easement with them so that we can get to that, piece of property. So that's why we're kind of adamant that we need that in there as well. So I'm thinking that we're gonna have favorable results, after the Board of Supervisors meeting, based on my conversations with them, with the board members. And, then the next step, if that happens, to bring it back to council for their approval, and then public hearings from, both the town and the county.
Thank you.
All right.
Want me to start that over again?
No.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, we're good. And the action items that we have for this evening, I felt that, especially with 3 new council members and a new mayor, that it might behoove us to go into this and to try to get our feet wet, establish things, make sure that the committees were in place, and that people had a chance to get up to speed on what projects were out there. There aren't many changes in committee assignments. The new council members have been added to committees. Most of the committees, like the pool committee, for example, is 100% intact with just some shifting of positions, in that Barbara Hartley has taken over as the chairman, and I'm switching in as a representative from council, which is a flip from where we were before. But the other committees, like I said, we've just added the new members of council to that. And by the next meeting, I'm counting on those committees having established meeting dates and how they're going to handle when they're going to put those things together. Certainly, even though it's a little early, it's never too early to start working on this next year's budget. So the finance committee is going to have to start meeting so that we can start a presentation to the full council sometime late March, early April. Don't you agree, Roy? And then we can get that so that we can get that done by June 30. So that being said, in the packet is a list of the appointments to committees. And I would ask that oh, wait a minute, we've got the meeting calendar first on there, so we'll do that first. Going to the meeting calendar, it's 2 meetings a month. They're pre-marked, but in November and December, we don't want to meet on Christmas or Thanksgiving, and so we have just 1 meeting a month in those 2 months. And I would like somebody to approve that schedule, please.
I'll make the motion to approve the proposed 2023 Urbana Town Council work session and monthly meeting calendars presented.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. Well, let's have a vote. Marjorie?
Yes.
Beth?
Yes.
Larry?
Yes.
Alana?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Sandy?
Yes.
The mayor says yes. Moving on. Now it's what I was talking about before, the committee assignments and the commissions. Something to note is that the Architectural Review Board, they have set by code terms of serving, and 1 spot was available. On that committee, Amy Denny was added. The other people are still in place. And on the Planning Commission, again, 1 spot was open, and that's another one that rotates through with a set number of years. Mary Hanson staying as the chairman of that committee. You've all had in your packet those committees? Do I have a motion to accept the committees as proposed?
Can I say something? I understand that it's a state law that if you're a member of a council, that you cannot be on the BZA.
Oh,
The what?
If a member
Is
of
that true?
council
I believe that is correct.
okay. Then-
On the
then-
what?
on the BZA, Board of Zoning
Oh,
Appeals.
okay.
Okay,
That makes sense.
all right.
Yeah.
So
So
Marjorie and I are off
Well,
that.
one of the things I was going to bring up is Garth was going to print out forms that if anybody in the crowd or if anybody knows somebody that wants to be on in one of these committees, that we have applications and we can field applications from that. So that's a good call.
Yeah. Thank you, Alana.
Yep.
And those forms
Mayor-
are back here.
Forms at the back
Yeah.
of the room.
And if we need extra, just let me know.
Okay.
All right, well, I'll make a motion to approve the proposed.
question.
I'm sorry.
I actually have a question. The Economic Development and Advertising Committee, is that a new committee?
No.
That's been there before, and that's one that we may because it's been there before, I didn't take it off.
Okay.
That's one of the things that's up for discussion, because the
Of
planning
Main Street.
commission has fulfilled a
Right.
lot of the functions of that. That was an
Right.
ad hoc committee that was added before.
Okay.
And something that's in the future is we may want to disband that committee altogether,
And just
because
pull it
the
into
pla-
those-
the planning
okay.
commission.
But that's
Just
what,
want to make sure that we're working in concert, however it is.
that's what
Yes.
I used when the planning commission is because, I mean, excuse me, what the heck ever? What did we just call?
Second Saturdays.
Yeah, that's the second Saturdays. That's how I did the work through DMV through VML. That's
Okay.
what that was through.
Okay,
Right. And-
So-
And those committees existed, and they're populated, and so, rather than get into a lengthy
That's- and that's
discussion.
okay.
Right, and so
Yeah.
that's part of the task is, you see what's there.
Right.
And we're gonna have to decide going forward whether those things make sense to keep, because
Okay.
as we have seen, that one is one that I don't think is met for a couple of years.
Right.
Formally. Marjorie did things ad hoc on her own with
Right.
respect to second.
But what that does, the economic development and planning, I mean, economic development and advertising is different than the planning commission because we sort of do two different things.
Right.
Some of it could maybe be met parallel, but I think we do two different things, is what I found, excuse me, in the past.
I think, though, that one of the things with our Main Street efforts as well, which is clearly, it's not on advertising per se, but it's on economic development. And we're going to be doing strategic planning this spring and that sort of thing. I just want to make sure that we're working together and that we're working, whatever our efforts are not at odds with one another, because we need to, we need to pull the wagon together.
Absolutely.
And so that's my main thing, just like we're in the process of starting to do some strategic planning with the Virginia Tourism Commission. And we're pulling that so that that works also with our Main Street efforts, so that it's all, everything's supporting everything without competing or, people just, that's my main concern. And
Absolutely.
That's all I need to say.
Mayor, can I
be on that.
comment to that?
Pardon? You should be on that committee.
Go.
The main thing to keep in mind is the Planning Commission, the Historic Architecture Review Board, and the Board of Zoning Appeals are official standing committees. And the others, the Urbana Creek and the Town Marina and the Economic Development Committee, they're ad hoc committees. So they're at the pleasure of the mayor. So,
Okay.
Right.
as needed.
Okay,
And-
okay,
and-
thank you.
And Marjorie, at this point, is on both the development and advertising and the
The
planning
Planning
commission.
Commission, right.
And so you've got your liaison back and forth as to how you want to spin those in different directions.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, I'll make the motion to approve the proposed 2023 Town of Urbana Commission and Committee assignments.
Second?
A second.
Take a vote. Marjorie?
Yes.
Beth?
Yes.
Larry?
Yes.
Lana?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
And
Yes.
Sandy? All right.
Just think of it.
Now, I hope that it's not necessary for all kinds of reasons, but we haven't had a mayor pro tem in a while. But I think it would be nice if we had that in place so that there was no question as to who was going to run a meeting in my absence. And so if, I thought it would be fitting that since Larry is the longest standing, Larry Chuney is the longest standing member of council, that he take that position. Do I have a nomination or
Yes.
motion to?
I'll make a motion. Motion is made for Larry Tuning to be elected to serve mayor pro tempore in accordance with the town charter guidelines.
Second?
Second.
Take a vote. Marjorie?
Yes.
Beth?
Yes.
Larry?
Abstain.
Yeah, good point. Sorry. Alana? That was a test.
And
Mary?
Mary, yes. Yes.
Sandy? And Mayor says yes. Okay, that one passes. And the last item that we had here was the minutes from November 17th. And I guess,
It is possible to vote on the minutes if you were not here.
I was going to say that. Maybe we should have Steve and Bill and Barbara vote.
The new members can vote on them if they would like.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for November 17th, 2022 as presented.
Second,
All right. We'll vote. This time I'll start with Sandy,
Yes.
Mary,
yes.
Alana,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Beth,
Yes.
and Marjorie.
Yes.
Mayor says yes.
Motion
Okay.
to adjourn.
Any other?
I actually,
Any other announcements?
can I say one thing about the minutes? As we start, it's so helpful if we all have our minutes in advance. And if we all have a chance to review them, suggest any kind of grammatical, typographical, non-controversial changes in advance. It makes it so much simpler for our clerk of court to handle them because she has to make official changes every time. So if we wait until we come to meetings to do simple things like that, it really ties her hands and makes it difficult. So I'm just making a request at the beginning of our terms to do the best that we can to review our agendas before we come to meetings and provide any obvious feedback in advance. So, sorry, but wanted to get it out there. Okay.
Can I make a quick,
Absolutely.
first off, on behalf of staff, I want to thank the mayor and the two council members. It was I thought that it was a productive 2 years, and we really appreciate y'all's dedication to the town and everything that y'all did to benefit the town. Thank y'all.
Yes, absolutely.
And the second thing is I want to extend to the new council members, it was a pleasure that the last 2 years, council members have made it a point to come in, sit down, talk with us, and share their concerns, positive, negative, whatever. And we ask y'all to do the same thing and invite you to just come in, sit down and have a conversation, or if you've got any questions, don't hesitate to pick up the phone and call. And we're gonna to do our best to give you the information Larry and Bill Goldsmith, the mayor, they were in almost daily, so, and Marjorie as well, so.
And the mayor sets the agenda, but staff lets him know if they have heard from council members that they would like things involved. So the way to get things on the agenda is to let Garth or me or.
Right. And this went faster than I thought it was going to, which is, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
It went smoothly, but, some of that, we had it out there. To everybody out there, we need a couple of people for the Board of Zoning Appeals. So please pick up your forms and give us a position where we need to make a choice rather than,
Do they have to be town residents?
yes.
They do.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think they do, don't they?
And I
Yeah,
understand they
with-
probably
with-
only meet once a year, once every 2 years
Yeah,
or
it's a,
something, so
it's a
not
rare thing.
often.
The
Yeah.
Planning Commission and Harb have positions for people out of town. One is it Harb that has 2 positions? And the Planning Commission has 1 position that is available for people out of town. But the other ones should be town residents. And so Board of Zoning Appeals would be town resident. So, Bill, I understand you're not doing much for the next,
Yeah, you got a couple years
maybe you
free.
pick up a form.
I was in the Navy. You know what Navy stands for, right? NAVY, never again volunteer yourself?
Yes. I was Navy as well.
Well, we're glad you volunteered yourself and did a,
Yes. You will be sorely missed. Barbara's not going away yet. Steve already left the building, so. But
I noticed, Bill, you've been sitting there with a big smile on your face since you walked in, too.
all right, Marjorie?
motion to adjourn.
Hey, could
I'll second the motion.
I might have missed this, but when you set the schedule, did you set the time of the meeting?
7
Oh,
o'clock.
7 o'clock.
They're always 7 o'clock.
Yeah, 7 o'clock is the time.
I just didn't hear.
I changed it from 6:30 2 years ago to
7 o'clock.
7 for both.
7 o'clock on Thursdays.
And I want to get a picture of the council, so
Yeah.
stick around.
Okay? Oh, we need a second.
Sandy seconded.
Okay.
She already, the seconder
All
is
right.
down there.
Well, why don't you lead off the vote? Sandy,
That's
Yes.
your duty from now on.
Mary,
Yes.
Alana,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Beth,
Yes.
Marjorie.
Yes.
This is a record.
Mayor says yes.
Twice.
It's a record.
Thank you all.